Good morning, Ms. Bea. What time will Mrs. Anderson arrive? We need to tell her updates and our plans for our IEP meeting.
Well, she'll be here a few minutes from now, ma'am. We will discuss to her about the placement or what the child to be placed and as well as the services that the child needs.
Okay. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning too, ma'am. Please take a seat.
Thank you.
By the way, we called your attention for the child's sake. You are already aware of the child's needs and based on these needs, me as a general teacher cannot give that services.
That's good news, Vel. Thank you, ma'am. You're always welcome.
Goodbye, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our IEP meeting. And I have here the attendance for you to sign. And just to be sure everyone knows each other, so we should all introduce ourselves. First, I'm Nova Kaling. I'm the school representative, and this is the mother of Miss. And this is the mother of Madeline.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Micah Anderson.
By the way, I am Bea and I am the general education teacher of Madeline.
And I am Jessica Faunillian, the speech therapist. And I am Angela, the special education teacher.
And I am ESPIRITU, the psychologist of Madeline.
And I am Lydia Camacho. I am a school nurse.
So we are here today to make the IEP of Madeline Anderson. So before anything else, our objective in our IEP meeting today is that at the end of the IEP meeting, Madeline Anderson will be able to receive special services that also to her needs, and the parent, which is Mrs. Anderson, will be informed about the plans and placement of her child. Ms. Bea, is there any other input about the individualized education plan of Madeline?
Yes, by the way, during the time that Madeline attended my class, I have observed that she has no eye contact, especially when I ask her questions. She cannot socialize and talk at the same time with her peers. She needs extra assistance during classroom activities and merely performs tantrums when her needs and wants are not met. So therefore, there are needs to the child and services she needed that is the main reason why we have this IEP.
Okay, let's go to the SPED teacher. Ms. Anjanette, what will be your plans for Madeline and what can you contribute about the IEP of this child?
So, based on the results of the assessments and evaluation conducted to Madeline, we found out that Madeline belongs to the category of autism with emotional and behavioral disorder. So, to clarify things, autism is a mental disorder that affects children, particularly their ability to relate other people or to others. So, which is obvious to Madeline. So, based on her mother and current teacher, Madeline frequently have tantrums and sometimes she is impulsive. So, I recommended to put her on a special education classroom with 5 to 6 students. So, I set annual goals for her. So, first annual goal for her cognitive is for her to identify alphabet in order for her to write completely her name and address. So, second is for her self-help skills. So, all of us wanted her to be independent. So, in dressing and toileting. So, lastly is for her adaptive skills. We want her to control her temper, to lessen her tantrums, and her impulsiveness. So, because Madeline has a lot of communication skills, so I recommended some assistive devices. So, the assistive devices which I will be using are PEX and Teach. So don't worry, Mrs. Anderson, because these devices are not expensive. So First is PECS. This means picture exchange communication system. So this device allows Madeline to express her needs and feelings just by pinpointing on the pictures.
Mrs. Anderson, if you have some questions, feel free to ask. Why is my child not eligible to be placed in the setting?
It's because Madeline have emotional and behavioral disorders, so we want to avoid instances wherein she might hurt her classmates, but it is one of our annual goals to lessen her, or for her to control her emotions or her temper. So if she succeeded or overcome that problem, we might transfer her to general education.
So, Espiritu, what are your observations about the conditions of Madeline and what can you contribute?
Okay, so good afternoon everyone. First and foremost, I would like to introduce myself. I am ESPIRITU, the psychologist of Madeline Anderson for almost 3 months. So I've been observing Madeline for almost 3 months. Based on observation and assessment tool including checklist, anecdotal, video recording that we conducted during our therapy session, and also my actual interaction with your daughter, ma'am.
Action.
So don't worry, Mrs. Anderson, because these devices are not expensive. So first is PECS. This means picture exchange communication system. So this device allows Madeline to express her needs and feelings just by pinpointing on the pictures. So for example,
Action.
so PECS, which means picture exchange communication system. So this device allows Madeline to express her feelings and needs. So just by pinpointing on the pictures. So for example, if she wants to pee, she will just pinpoint on the pictures. So I want to pee. So next is TEACH, which means treatment and education of autism and related communication handicapped children. So this device will serve as an instructional material. So to introduce new things or topics to Madeline. For example, I will introduce apple. So there is a picture and I will just pinpoint it and then I'll just say this is apple. So the next is this is a shoe. So all of this stuff. That's all.
Mrs. Anderson, there are things to be considered in your daughter. So it is important to think of her as intelligent even if language or behavioral difficulties do not reveal this in the way you expect about your daughter. So, as I observed to your daughter, Madeline Anderson, she has difficulty on her gestures and social cues, and she has limited or no speech. She can talk a little bit, but I know that you observe that, Mrs. Anderson, and especially in social awkwardness, she cannot socialize with her peers, especially to her classmates. So, also, as a parent, you need to show to your child that she is very important to you and give unconditional love. And as a mother, make her feel that she is not different from your other siblings. And observe, she doesn't have trust to the people around her. On this matter, there are tips to be support and to Madeline with this program, which is the individualized educational plan. So, first is be consistent on your daughter, respect her as an individual, and promote acceptance and understanding among peers and staff. And finally, Mrs. Anderson, I would like to set a time relaxation and having fun with your family. And finally, I would like to set therapy session during, I think, Tuesday and Thursday, 1 to 3 p.m. at the resource room. So is that okay for you, Mrs. Anderson?
Yes, it's okay for you.
Okay.
Yes, it's okay. Mrs. Anderson, because your child has difficulty in nonverbal communication, so we have here a speech pathologist. Faunillian, what can you share?
Children with autism may have major problems with both speech and non-verbal communication. They may also find it very hard to interact socially. As a speech therapist, my job is to help Madeline Anderson. So since Madeline cannot cope up in general education, so we have to pull her out three times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2 hours in a meeting. A person with autism may not talk at all. Also, can undergoes cries, talk in a musical way, babble with word-like sounds, and use foreign sounding. Only that.
Next is for the child's health. So we have here our school marks.
Got it. Alright, so good afternoon everyone. Good afternoon, Mrs. Anderson. So as we did our medical examination, our head-to-toe assessment of your child, Madeline, with our pediatrician who is not here, but the notice I think is already given. Alright, let's direct to the point. We found out that she has a very minimal health concerns, and that is she used to have asthma and allergies. So regarding that, I would suggest that she must be given a gluten and casein-free diet, less salt, restricted from eggs, chicken, milk, and some other products from cheese or casein. And she must use also hypoallergenic powder or cologne, because all of it will be triggering factor for her asthma or allergies, which can greatly affect her health, right? And as a school nurse, we would like, if it's okay, we would like to ask from you if it's okay if we will see her twice a week, and that's Monday and Friday morning. Is that okay, Ms. Anderson?
Yes, it's okay.
And here's another. We found out also that she often experiencing tantrums. Is that correct? So if that will happen, our pediatrician's order is to give her a serotonin reuptake inhibitor. That's a medicine. That's an antipsychotic medicine. And that particular drug is what we call risperidone. It's safe. But just a caution, if the child will be given that drug, one of the side effects is she will experience involuntary movement of her mouth, lips, and tongue. Yeah, but there's nothing to worry. It's just a side effect, and it can't cause any harm to Madeline. All right. Another, she must be given enough vitamins, and that's vitamins. Okay, so here's another. Madeline must also be given enough vitamins. Here's another. Madeline must also be given enough vitamins and minerals for her immune system. Alright? So she must be particularly given a vitamin B6, B12, and folic acid, and vitamin C also. And there must be a constant monitoring of her. Is that okay for you, ma'am?
Yes.
So, you have any questions or clarification?
Any question?
Thank you very much.
Okay, ma'am. So what can you say about our plans for your child's IEP?
For now, your plan and suggestions looks good, and I still wait for no updates if your program is effective. Anyways, you still have re-evaluation after 3 years, right?
Yes.
So thank you for coming, ladies.